So no one told you life was gonna be this way. I actually found out like 2 weeks ago that there's actually 4 clips and not 5. Yeah. Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I bring you guys another review, another talk, another discussion, honey. Okay, and as you can see by the title, today we are going to talk about Friends, the reunion. And best believe the girl had to bring out the shirt. Okay, I literally bought the shirt for this reunion, but I'll tell you the story later. In the meantime, let's get started. Okay, so if you have no idea what Friends is, then clearly you've been living under a rock, because it is one of the best sitcoms of all time. Okay, back in 2019, I think, or early 2020, it was announced that they would have a reunion in 2020, but then COVID happened and we got postponed, and finally, after being postponed, it finally happened. Okay, so as I said with the shirt, I bought it for this reunion. I bought it last year when the initial announcement of the why can't I speak? The initial announcement of the reunion happening, I had just dipped my feet into Friends. So yeah, I watched Friends for the first time last year because I was taking a gap year and then COVID happened, so I couldn't leave the house. I was like, let me just watch Friends, because a friend of mine was like, Lisa, I need to watch Friends, and she'd been on my case. So I was like, let me finally do it, right? So after watching it, I was like, oh man, this is nice. I'm probably gonna watch this reunion. And so I went out and got myself a shirt because I was like, hey, let me do it. Okay. So yeah, the reunion finally happened, and oh my gosh, guys. Yeah, it came out today and I just finished watching it like literally like 5 minutes before I recorded this. I just finished watching it and oh my gosh, guys, the feels. Okay, the feels. I was literally like 2 minutes in and the girl was getting emotional when David Schwimmer walked onto set, because he was the first person to walk into set. Because already it had got me when it said 17 years later with the door, and then it shifts and then it shows him walking. Guys, the feels. And then everybody else of course arrived and was like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in a while. The reunion happened, of course. And so we see that they also have like an interview, so there's like a lot going on in this review, in this reunion. And I'm glad that it wasn't like your typical interview where they just sit and they'll talk for an hour, because this show is like an hour and 45-ish minutes, and there's a lot of things. They have table reads, then there's the interview, then there's behind the scenes, and they show you scenes from the actual show from back in the day, and stuff like that. So there's a lot happening. It's not just a normal interview where they talk about past things and reminisce. No, there's a lot happening. Okay, and so I absolutely lived for the table reads. They had a few table reads. They'll read a scene from different episodes. They did the final episode from season 1. They did the episode where the one where everyone finds out about Chandler and Monica's relationship. They did a remake of the quiz. Guys, I lived.
Rachel wrote Ross a letter and demanded he read it before they got back together. How many pages was that letter? 18 pages!
Damn.
18 pages.
Front and back!
Front and back is correct.
So yeah, they did all of these things, and I really love that. And in the interview aspect, it was conducted by James Corden. And honestly, can someone please tell me what is the beef with James Corden? Because I literally don't understand. Can someone tell me the hate against James Corden? Because when I watched the trailer for this reunion, I went down the comments, because you go like to read the comments, right? And a lot of people were like, why is James Corden the host? Why is this? And this is not the first time I've seen a lot of backlash with regards to James Corden. I just don't understand it. Maybe it's because I don't read into it. I don't know, but I just don't get it. But anyway, so he conducted it well, in my opinion, of course, because the interview aspect does not take majority of the duration of the reunion, so I guess maybe that was why. But yeah, we have a lot of guest stars. We had Mr. Heckles, and Richard was back, and Monica and Ross's parents. We had Janice.
Lisa laughs
My
like...
God! I can't believe you didn't say me!
And then of course we had other celebs that were talking about their experiences with watching this sitcom and why they liked it and all of that. And then of course we had Lady Gaga. y'all should know how I feel about Lady Gaga. She was here and she sang Smelly Cat with Lisa Kudrow. What?
Smelly cat, what are they feeding you? Smelly cat, it's not your fault.
So yeah, it was so good to see them reminisce and just them to reunite again, after 17 years of the show's end. I really liked and I liked the fact that it was not a reboot. So I remember when the first news broke out of this reunion happening, a lot of people thought it was going to be a reboot, so there's going to be like one episode and then we just see where the characters are in this point in time. But it turned out to not be that. It's actually a proper reunion where the actors are just themselves and they just talk about the show and the characters as a whole and all of that. So I'm glad it actually took that format, and Lisa Kudrow explains why the creators of Friends decided not to have a reboot like ever. Okay, and honestly, it makes sense.
They ended the show very nicely. Everyone's lives are very nice, and they would have to unravel all those good things in order for there to be stories. And yeah, I don't want anyone's happy ending unraveled.
So there were a lot of laughs. There was a lot of laughs. Yeah, so I was smiling and laughing throughout. Like after the 2 minutes when they reunited in the beginning, and I was like, oh my gosh, they reunited. What's that? After that I was laughing all the way through up until the end where they brought us back in our fields. When they talk about the final shooting recording of the final episode, how everyone was in their fields and how it was such a special moment for them, but everybody was in tears because they knew it was time for it to end, but they didn't want it to end. They talked about all of that, and then the characters also spoke about how they're feeling now and how, this probably is the last Friends reunion like ever. Like, this is never gonna happen again. And they're just all of that, and I was like, oh my god, y'all gonna bring us back in the past? Y'all gonna do us like that? Really? But overall, this reunion was it was so cute, guys. It was so cute, especially for me. I think because like my friend's hype is still like very elevated because as I said, I started watching it last year and I only finished season 10 in like Feb this year. So for me, like all the feels and everything are still fresh. So seeing the reunion, it was just like, oh my gosh, I literally just watched this like yesterday. It was really so good just to see everybody, okay? And out of all of them, like when they were doing the table read, I was like, Lisa Kudrow, like she just like jumped back into Phoebe. Like it was weird. Like when she was like, my eyes. I was like, it sounds exactly the way it sounded in the show.
Oh! Chandler and Monica!
Rachel sees what Phoebe is seeing.
Oh my god!
Chandler and Monica!
Oh my god!
Oh, my eyes!
I know. Phoebe!
And I was just like she like literally just was able to like jump back directly into it. And of course all the others also they were able to, but Lisa Kudrow really stuck out for me. It was really good. It was really surprising in a great way to see how they were able to easily jump back into their characters like that, It's honestly so cool to see how this sitcom has been able to withstand the test of time, okay? Because this thing stopped airing in 2004. Back in 2004, I was 2. I was 2 going on 3, and yet look at me now in my big age. I am still one of the people that are watching the show, So it's honestly so mind-blowing to see how after all these years people are still watching like crazy. They continue to get more and more fans into this Friends fandom. Like it's just like how the candle never blows out. Even when I watched it, I immediately loved it. Like first season, I was like, oh my gosh, Chandler, oh my gosh, Joey. Like just everybody. I was just like, I love everybody. I love everybody. My favorite character. I wanted to say it's Chandler, but I really okay. I've said this before to like my friends and people that ask me my favorite character from Friends, and I'm like, I'm not sure if I have a favorite character because I like each of them for different reasons. Does that make sense? Like I like Phoebe for, like, you know, the bohemian vibe she gives on. I like Monica for her OCD. I like Rachel because she's like, you know, she's not snobbish, but she's snobbish. You know, I like Joey for his dumbness, for lack of a better word, Chandler for his sarcasm, and of course Ross for his facial expressions because they are everything.
Pivot! 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 Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Overall, this Friends reunion was everything I didn't know I needed, but now that I have it, I was like, oh my gosh, where have you been all my life? You know, so I really like this Friends reunion. It was so cute. I'll probably rewatch it because I was laughing so hard. I was laughing, and the thing is, I was not alone in the room. I was not alone in the room, but I was the only one watching it. So then I was like, I would laugh, and everyone's like, okay, girl, what you watching? And I'm like, y'all not gonna understand why this is funny. But yeah, it was so good. It was so cute. It was everything, and I loved it. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on the show. If you watched it, let me know what you think too. Okay. So on that note, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, switch on post notifications, all that amazing stuff. And until next time, stay great. Bye.